On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Carolina Panthers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from Cincinnati. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now on 2nd and 13. Burrow dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
A pickup of 5 that time and a first down. The Bengals at 10 and 5 to start play. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here we go. Can. Todd. 52. Block 52. 52's the mic. Coming to you. Todd.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Panthers are going to get it back here just past the 35.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. They find some open field here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. So, Charles, you know, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
Now left side on the swing pass. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Eckler again. And he'll be stopped up short as the tackle is made at about the 3. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Austin Eckler with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. So important in this league to capitalize on the other team's mistakes. And here they force the turnover on the opening drive, then come right down and score.
And I would add that it's important to capitalize on other teams' mistakes early. That way, you build confidence for yourself and your team. You start playing a little more freely. And you let the other guys know we're prepared to play.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bengals drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, or they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
11 MT.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Burrow. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. And the Panthers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Off play action. Here's Corral. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Carolina. Jalen Waddle. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Panthers go up by 2 touchdowns. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. He's going to air one out. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. And the Panthers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 70th catch for him on the year. And like so many others, this goes for a 1st down.
Here we go. 180.
Now it's Burrow. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football. While we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Jet sweep. Here's Olave. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Eckler. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. 3rd and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt. Corral going to sneak it, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Panthers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only if you...
He's got a man complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now a give running left is Eckler. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.